Hi everyone, how are you? I hope you all are doing well and you're all safe at your homes. Please be aware of this whole COVID thing and follow all the rules set up by the government and ensure everybody around you is safe and yeah, take care. So today I'm going to talk about my first solo trip, which I did go to Uti way back in 2017. So after doing a few trips with my friends from 2014 to 16, and after everybody got settled, I really didn't have a company to go somewhere. And in 2017, I was craving for travel like anything, even after I went to Thailand with my friends. So I had just gone to Thailand somewhere in the first week of September, right? And after that, I was still craving for travel, and so I decided that I'm going to do a solo trip. And I looked upon three factors for me to choose my destination. A was that I needed to know the local language. B was that it should be a safe destination for solo travelers, especially women. And three, it was that I needed a local emergency point of contact. So considering these three places, it was really easy for me to considering these 3 points. It was really easy to for me to shortlist my destination because the main thing is that I knew only the local language Tamil, which is my mother tongue. So I really didn't know any other language in India apart from this. I knew a bit of Malayalam, Telugu, and a bit of Hindi, but I'm not very fluent in it, right? And one thing was that, so I had shortlisted that my destination was going to be in Tamil Nadu, and that it was going to be a hill station, which, because I love the mountains and I love the hills and the nature around it. So this was there, and one other factor was that I really had an emergency point of contact in Uti. So considering all this, I shortlisted this as my destination, and I made my reservations, and I started organizing everything for my trip, right? So on I think 29th September, which was a Friday, I booked my yeah. So on 29th September, I took a bus to overnight bus to Uti, and then I took an overnight bus to Uti, and I reached the destination on 30th September around 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, when I got down from my bus, I knew that my hotel was about 1.5 kilometers from there, and I had to take an auto uphill. So I took an auto and I went to my hotel, but my rooms were not ready. It was not a hotel, it was a backpacker hostel, and my rooms were not ready. So what happened, I went and I refreshed myself, and I took a stroll on the street which my hotel was located in, and trust me, it was damn crowded considering it was a long weekend, and I could see literally all the vehicles from Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu, right? So it was jam packed. It really looked like Chennai when you go to office around 9:30, 10 in the morning. The roads are damn crowded. It was that way, right? There was so much of vehicles, and there was no way literally for traffic to move. So that was it. So I took a stroll, and I ended up finding a dosa shop very near my hostel, and I grabbed like a dosa with and tenga chutney for about 20 rupees. I just grabbed two dosas, and I had my breakfast, and then I took a walk through the city, not through the city maybe, but just around the area where my hotel was. So I found some bike shops to rent bikes, but unfortunately there was no shop which had a which had bikes available. So even if it was there, it was more than $1,000, and I thought it was really not worth so much. Okay, so and then what happened? Finally, I ended up renting a bike from a local, and he gave it to me for about 600 rupees per day. Okay, so I rented the bike. It was obviously for the I think. Yeah, it was the first day only. So I rented my bike. I rented a bike and I used it for that day. So I went to the Rose Garden and I came. Yeah, I went to the Rose Garden and came back and I took my bike and I decided I wanted to go to Kodanad. So Kodanad was about I think 15 15 plus 25, so I think it was around 40 kilometers to Kodanad from the place I was I was staying at. So I went to the Rose Garden. I visited it. I saw all the flowers over there, and I also enjoyed some me time. And then I came back to my hostel. I packed all my stuff I packed all my stuff, my cameras, my phones, my earphones, my rain jacket, and yeah, other stuffs that I really wanted to carry, right? So I started my trip, say around some 2:30 or something in the afternoon. So it was by the time I started and I went uphill, say for about 2 or 3 kilometers, it started raining. So it was just drizzling. So I thought I could really manage, and obviously because I love rain, so I thought it was really a very good. A very good sign for me to proceed, but little did I realize that it was a very bad idea, and I realized it was a very bad idea. So because I was literally shivering, and I reached about 20-25 kilometers. I went and I just had like 15 more kilometers to go, to the viewpoint in Kodanad. So what happened was that, but I was so it was I was shivering because there was a lot of it was raining and it was very cold also, and that the visibility was there for only 10 meters. Every 10 meters it was, and I mean I found that very difficult because I've never had such a ride in my life, and it was the first time, right? So and riding all alone was like even more difficult. So what I did was that I went about 25 kilometers, and I thought it was I thought I should go back to my hotel, but when that thought was there, on the other side it was like it's just 15 more kilometers. There's no point for you to have come for around 25 kilometers without what to say, it just didn't make any sense to go back all the way 25 kilometers and go and sleep in my hotel, right? So what I did, I stopped by in a temple, and they were like there was a couple, so I made friends with them. I thought that place was safe, so I after staying there, I stood there literally for about 1 hour, and after the rain subsided, and I started my bike uphill to Kodanad. So in this 1 hour, I made friends with that couple, and they were really nice to me, and they told me how should I be how could I spend my time in Ooty and all that. So they told me the route to Kodanad, and I went. So when I went to Kodanad, it was really nice. So after stopping by at the rain, I started, and when I did my climb uphill to Kodanad, it was really amazing. The roads, the view, the trees, all the pine trees around me, and the hill stations. It had like not too much of hairpin bends, but just I think not too much of hairpin bends, and it was really nice for me to go, and I escaped 2 accidents that day, right? So I escaped two accidents, and I finally made my way up to Kodanar, and my God, oh my God, it was that way, right? So if anybody who is, who's watching this video has gone to Kodanar, you will know what I'm really describing. So it was really nice with the roads were all of it was literally like I was traveling abroad. It was that way. Okay, so the highways and all, oh my God, it was so beautiful, and it looked like one US, the posh cities of US, the posh destinations. And the roads were really really good of international standards. Maybe I don't know whether the roads in US look that way, because I've never been to US, but all the roads were of international standards, and it was really nice to to go uphill over there. And finally after I think about an hour, yeah, I took about an hour from the place where I stopped to go to Coordinate viewpoint. So I crossed all those, the estate gates and everything. I was going up and up and up and up and up, and for how long I do, God knows. But finally, I reached my destination. I was so frustrated. Oh my God, when will my destination come? I didn't have the patience to, kind of wait to go for my destination to arrive. Even as I rode very fast, also it was really difficult for me to be patient. I was really excited about the ride, and after seeing all those the gates, the roads of that international standard and all that, it was like I was craving again, right? So I finally I reached the viewpoint, and then it was I actually felt lonely, because everyone over there were with either with their families or friends, and I was really alone. And also people were giving me like weird looks. I gave my camera to a guy and told him to take a photo, right? He had come with his family. So what happened was that he gave me like such weird looks, like, why would a woman go alone somewhere, right? And especially to a hill station, why is she alone? So all these kind of looks were there, and I was actually embarrassed. I started feeling little yeah, I was feeling quite lonely, and I could not enjoy the view also. But I did manage to see the views, the golf course and everything from that place. It was, oh my God, it was so nice, and I really wished I was inside the estate playing golf, or going around for horse riding or stuff like that inside the estate. The view was so nice, and oh my God, it was sprawling in acres, right? So it was really nice. I spent about 45 minutes over there, and then I started my my ride back to Ooty. So again I had like another I think another 40-45 kilometers to reach my hostel. So I came back, and by the time I started, and I was going downhill on the way. It was too much of traffic. Lucky that I had gone only by a bike, because the traffic was like had started around 6 kilometers before entering Ooty itself, right? So somehow I managed. I kind of went in this what to say, the sandila pundala போறது சொல்லுவாங்க, அந்த மாதிரி புந்து போயிட்டு I came down up to 2 kilometers before Ooty. And there was this very nice a roadside vendor who was selling sandwiches and budgies and chai and all that. So I had a veg sandwich and a chai, and also a budgie. And then I to just beat the cold, I was shivering like anything. So I had all this. I thought since I thought it would help, I had. And then I took so I had it, and I took my bike, and I proceeded back to my hotel. right? So when I reached my hotel, I was shivering like anything, and கையெல்லாம் அந்த ஒரு மாதிரி வறட்சி போச்சு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, ஸோ ஃபுல்லாக வறட்சி போச்சு, அப்படியே கையில் வெட 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 வெடன்னு இருந்தது. சரியா, அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து நான் என்ன சொல்கிறது, ஹோட்டலுக்கு வந்து இது பண்ணி ரெஃப்ரெஷ் பண்ணி செட்டில் ஆகிறதுக்கு இட் டுக் லைக் half an hour to 1 hour for me. And after that I was still shivering. And also the thing was like, I actually, it was a hotel, but that particular room was a dormitory. It had 8 beds, but unfortunately I was the only person. There were 8 beds. I was somewhere in the middle of the room, in a bunker in the middle, and then I was literally staring at the walls like, oh my god, why did I even choose Vicky? I felt so lonely. I was cursing myself. Anju, why did you go alone? You shouldn't have done this and all that. I was really very lonely, but I think it was my first solo trip too, so it was okay. Somehow I managed, and I did make a few calls to my friends and all that. And then, day one ended, and the second day, what I did was, I was exploring some meditation centers around that place, and luckily I found one very near to my hotel. It was just about a half a kilometer walk. So I went. It was Brahma Kumari's meditation center. So I called up, and they told me to come at a specific time. I went. They provided me lunch also, and then they gave me a small briefing about their sessions, and yeah. So they gave me a small briefing about their sessions, and they also had this very nice, a nice session, probably on what is the light inside us, right? So it actually told something like, you are not your body nor your mind. No, you're not your body nor your mind. It is just that there's a light inside of you. So obviously I assume it is the soul. So it is the soul who is you, and it is not your body or your mind. So it really doesn't matter like what dress you wear, what brand you wear, or what kind of how rich you are, or how wealthy you are, or how what to say. It is not about anything. It is just that it's nothing materialistic, right? So it is just a soul. So at the end of the day, your soul should be beautiful, and that is what you have to care about. Okay, so this was the learning from there. And after that I took a walk, and then I found this very nice Sai Baba temple. So it was about 200 kilometers from 200 meters from my hostel. So I stayed I went to the temple, and I stayed there for some time, and I prayed well. Oh my God, this trip should go well and stuff like that. And then I came back to my hostel only to have a peaceful sleep. This was on day 2, and also yeah. So before the Sai Baba temple, I went for a ride with my friend over there also. So. I went for a ride with him, and he showed me all the golf course. We went to the hairpin bends also in my bike itself, but unfortunately the brakes after the brakes in my bike had failed, and we went, I think, around 11 or 12 hairpin bends we went towards Masanagudi, and then we had to come back. We had to come back and all. So but it was a really nice ride, chatting with my friend, seeing the golf course, and all that. So it was beautiful, and I also got to see some of the shooting spots over there, and finally the temple, and I got back to my hostel. After that, when I came back to my hostel, I slept off today, and there was one couple who had come, but unfortunately when I got up the next morning, they had also left. It was so I was like, it was just that people were using it like just a stay place. They will come, stay overnight, the next day morning chalo shoot, they'll go off. It's like that, right? So the next day when I woke up, they were not there, and there was one person from Kerala, if I'm not wrong, but he also left, right? So I was again all alone. But so what I did was, today was my last day of my trip. Today was the last day of my that day was the last day of my trip. That was on 2nd October, the Gandhi Jayanti. So what I did, me and Pradeep, we hired a car, and we rented a car. We didn't hire. Yeah, we rented a taxi. So then the guy took us all over Masanagudi and Mudumalai. So we went to Mudumalai. We had a we had a jeep safari, and I really spotted some elephants over there. Then we went to Masanagudi, and we had a very good time. And after, especially he took me to a dam where, because his dad is with the press, so he thought something he could say and show me around. But then unfortunately they did not allow us. But the views from outside of the dam was really nice. And what happened was that we just enjoyed the drive like anything. And I had to take my bus back around some 6:30 in the evening. So not 6, yeah, around 6:30 in the evening. So what happened, we just packed all, he just came and dropped me at the bus station. And after that, my trip ended, and the next day morning I reached back home around 4:30 in the morning. So this was my first solo trip, and the key takeaways from my first solo trip was that I learned to be a lot more responsible and to take care of myself, and I learned to manage my budget. That was the most important thing. And Ooty, I spent around I think it was 1,500 for my buses, and for the hotel it was another 1,200 for 1,200, and I spent some 600 on my bike, and yeah, a few here and there. So I think overall I spent around somewhere within 5,000 to 7,000 for my whole trip. And it was really great for 3 days. And I felt really happy, and I was very peaceful peaceful with myself. So those were the key takeaways from the trip. And the main thing was that to have the courage to go out and explore, and not to cancel trips because your friends told to. And because your friends told to cancel it, as you're a solo traveler, as you're a woman, you should not travel alone and stuff like that. Because why I'm telling is that I planned this trip in 2016 itself. It was to Gokarna though. I had planned it for my birthday, but my friends were so skeptical about it, and they did not let me go. In fact, they gave me the credit card to book it, but then my my friends finally, they themselves made me to cancel it also. They were like, 32 hours, how would you travel by train? Because Chennai, I had to, it was a 32-hour train travel to Gokarna from Chennai. So they made me cancel it. And I was very disappointed at that time, and I didn't have any way out because they are my friends. So they neither came with me nor did they allow me to go. So after this I decided, even if you guys, after this I decided, hey guys, see, listen, if you want you can come with me, if not, I'm going alone. So till date I'm like, I will go wherever I want to. One advantage of solo trip is that you don't really have to wait for your friends. Although I agree that at a lot of times you feel lonely and stuff like that, but again, at the end of the day, when you're having a lot of me time, it helps you develop a lot of courage. And also you are you become very confident, and you are better at organizing things and at handling your budget. So here is me signing off, and please do like the video and share it as much as possible. And also that this is my first vlog, so if there is anything that I had you know, said repeatedly, or if I had made some mistakes here and there, it is purely because I'm very nervous, and since it's the first time. And cheers to you all. Thank you for watching this. Be safe, and let us travel once the earth recovers. Yeah. See you, and have a great evening. Bye.